Welcome, I'm Dr. Janine Bowring, naturopathic doctor, and are you living with celiac disease? Well, I want you to do these 7 tips to help you out with celiac. So these are natural ways to definitely help you if you've had this diagnosis of celiac disease and you're not sure if there is something that you can do to really help along with the process, and especially healing the gut as well if you've been diagnosed. So we know that celiac disease is an allergy to gluten, which destroys the villi in the small intestine, really compromising proper digestion of your food, can cause chronic diarrhea. So with these 7 tips, this will really help you not only to feel better, but to get your energy back as well. So tip number 1 for dealing with celiac disease is to, of course, avoid gluten. So not just gluten in food, which is typically in wheat, rye, barley, and oats, but also you have to pay attention to your beauty products, and body creams and shampoos can contain gluten. Even supplements can contain gluten as well. So you have to be really careful as to, the fact that you're not ingesting any gluten. Tip number 2 is to follow Mother Nature's prescription. So we know that if you've seen my other videos before, that getting out into nature is really important for your overall health, helps to decrease inflammation in your body, doing grounding in terms of, bare feet, walking on the earth is very healing, as well as being out in fresh air and getting that natural sunlight exposure does a lot for your digestive health and your ability to actually absorb your nutrients from your food and your healthy environment. Tip number 3 is to make sure that you're not having a B12 and an iron deficiency. So people who do suffer with celiac disease typically will have a low B12 and iron status, and this definitely will lend itself to not having enough vital energy. So you may be feeling tired a lot of the time, and it's not just the celiac disease, but you really should be checked for a B12 and your iron levels as well. Sometimes you may need to supplement, so always looking for a whole food supplementation product to be able to get those absorbable amounts of either vitamin B12 or iron, or sometimes both, if you do suffer with celiac disease. Tip number 4 is to definitely make sure you're fixing your leptin resistance. So we know that autoimmunity and having a leptin resistance often go hand in hand. So you definitely want to do everything to fix that leptin signaling between your liver, your muscle cells, your brain, and your entire endocrine system. So definitely, if you missed it, check out my videos on leptin resistance with some practical tips as to how to get you going in the right direction in terms of your leptin signaling and your leptin receptors. Tip number 5 is to include more fermented foods. So probiotic containing foods in your daily diet is really important to be able to make sure that you have that healthy gut ecology. So when we're looking at our gut and the diversity in our gut flora, we want to make sure that we've got enough of the good guys, so the probiotics, but also that we are sort of starving out the bad ones, the less favorable organisms. So including probiotic foods or maybe a probiotic supplement in your diet is very helpful. Tip number 6 for celiac disease is to ensure that you're getting enough DHA. So this is typically found in seafood and in fatty fish, and sometimes you may need to go to a supplement to get enough DHA. But in this study, it was shown that for people with celiac disease and that inflammation happening and that oxidative damage, that specifically the DHA, which is a long-chain omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid, is able to counteract many of the pro-inflammatory effects of arachidonic acid, and DHA actually prevented arachidonic acid release, cycloogenase 2 expression, CPLA2 activity, and prostaglandin E2 and interleukin 8 release in the culture medium, suggesting that DHA is very anti-inflammatory. So that's what all of that means. So you can check out that study. And tip number 7 is to include something that will really help with your leaky gut syndrome. So this is where I love to use a functional protein, and having very specific amounts of protein that's highly absorbed and digestible, but also making sure that it is supporting those tight junctions in the small intestine. And this is really important. So ingredients like quercetin will help to, and selenium will help to tighten up those tight junctions, so helping with the leaky gut syndrome. So today we talked all about celiac disease and 7 tips to help you with celiac disease. So I hope that you learned something new. Please, if you do have questions or comments, please do drop them in the comment section below, and share this video as well. Also give me a big thumbs up. I truly appreciate it. And if you're new to my world of videos, make sure that you subscribe and also click that bell to turn on your notifications so you're always notified of my newest and latest uploads, which happens every single day of the week. And remember to always take good care of your health and do it naturally. Thanks for watching today.